Hello.
Good morning, Ian. You know what I did last week that I do not
Ooh.
recommend to anyone ever?
Okay. What was that?
I had strep throat.
Oh,
Oh
classic.
no. I haven't had
Classic
strep
little
throat
kid
since I was a
disease.
kid, and it's way
Mhm.
worse as an adult.
Okay.
It
I used to get it all the time
sucks.
as a kid and
Oh,
drink
it
the
was the
pink liquid.
oh, it was the best when you were a kid. Your throat hurt, but you got to stay home and watch
Mhm.
TV and lay on the
Mhm.
couch and probably drink Sprite. But man, as a grown up, you just gotta keep providing for your family. You gotta put food on your family. It's the worst.
Yeah, that's no good. So did it hurt worse or just the just the kind of mental overhead you have as an adult? It just makes it
It
bummer.
did hurt, but the mental overhead was bad. I do have, this horrifying, throat spray that like
Okay.
freezes your throat and is
Yeah.
awful. But I got the antibiotics and I got a
Mm.
lidocaine like a lidocaine gargling solution as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was no fun. And also I was out there recording videos for Advent of Sequel, which we can talk about later. And I'm like doing a video and then spraying, numbing medicine in my throat and like, oh, I'm dying, and then get back on and be like, hey, it's Christmas. So it was, it was,
This is
it
why you
was.
got an editor though,
This
like,
is why I have an editor, and
clean that up.
I've been putting the editor to work because I've been doing these daily videos. And Ben, I'm so sorry, Eric, if you're listening. I've already apologized to him directly, but I've been delivering the videos at like 6 p.m. and he's got to have them edited and ready for the next day.
Oh my goodness.
He's a super pro though, and he does
Yeah,
it. He has a system now.
he's on it.
We actually
Yeah.
have a pretty good system
Ah,
together.
it's going well, good.
It's going so well.
Mm.
He's talented. We have a good system. He's technical, so there's never any like handoff issues. And so we've gotten it done. But yeah, the strep is 0 out of 10 stars, I will say.
Man, yeah, I haven't had strep throat in a long time to say. I don't even recall having it with the kids when they were little, so I think I might have missed that one, but yeah, I was just talking to my kids about this. They were sick last week, not with strep, with whatever. My daughter was just sick with some random little cold thing, whatever. But then she lost her voice, which like I lose my voice often when I'm sick or whatever when I talk at a conference. This being sick now, it's terrible
It's
because
terrible.
the kids they have Google Classroom. They just get homework. They just get assignments. There's just stuff to
Uh,
do. Yes, like you just want to be sick and lay on the couch and watch TV. And
uh,
no, you can't because they're like, I got this work. I got to do my homework while I'm here sick. I was like, don't do your homework. You're sick.
you're
They're like, oh,
sick.
you get the thing. We got the assignments. Oh, I'm like, this is not a
No,
thing. You
that's the
shouldn't
whole
have
point
assignments
of
when you're
being
sick.
sick, is
That's
to
like the
not have
whole
to do
point.
anything. That's
Yes.
why you get sick.
So the kids are losing that too. That the glorious thing you just talked about, how great it was when you were a kid. They're just gonna look back and be like, "Oh, it's so much better as an adult to be sick. I don't go to work and I just hang out at home doing nothing."
Oh, what a disaster.
Whereas, yeah,
We're failing the youth. We really
totally
are.
agree. I
They
really
can't
felt
buy
like actually
houses
bad.
and they have to do homework when they're sick. Come on, man.
I felt terrible about that. I was like, "Oh man, this is horrible. I don't know
Ah,
like any
that's
of this."
brutal.
Yeah.
But hey, we're on the other side. Urgent care came through. It
Okay.
was pretty obvious. I'm the fifth out of six members of our family to get strep. So I went in and I was like, I think I have strep. And they swabbed for COVID, flu A, flu B, and strep. And they're like, you have strep. And I pretended to be shocked.
Right.
So we're all better. Well, we're mostly better now,
Mm.
and we're doing great.
Good. Well, I like that. That's not bad. All's happy, the ends happy, and all that stuff.
Yes. As the old saying goes, all's happy that ends happy. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Yep.
Just like putting food on your family. That kind of
Exactly.
vibe. All right, what else do you do this weekend? We haven't done a weekend update in a
We
while.
haven't done a
Anything
weekend
exciting?
update in a while. We went to the trains at North Park Mall.
Ooh, I love
So here in
trains. Oh,
Dallas, North
trains at a
Park Mall
mall.
is
Okay.
the rich people mall. It's got the
Mhm.
Louis Vuitton and the Tiffany's and
Oh, the really rich people.
oh,
Okay.
dude. It's
Yeah.
it's actually, I think, for tax purposes, classified as a museum because they have this like unbelievably high-end art everywhere throughout the mall.
Okay. Yeah.
And they've got, they'll park Bentleys inside the mall and be like, "Hey, poor person, you could win this car if you give us your email address." And everybody's like, "I'm gonna win a car," and it never happens. But they also every year they do a train exhibit, model trains, and
Mm,
it's enormous. It benefits the Ronald McDonald Foundation for
mm.
kids and stuff. And every year we go. So we go with
Okay.
obviously our whole family, but then my parents come as well because I grew up, having model trains around Christmas. My dad and I would play with trains, and
Oh.
So my parents came, we took all 4 kids, me and Jennifer, and it's just like 4 maybe or 5 rooms full of model trains, just like
Wow, okay.
done up to the nines. It's unbelievable, and it's so
Mm,
fun, and the kids freaking love it. I love it. My parents love it. It's just
yep.
great. So we do that, and then we go up to the food court and have Chick-fil-A, for lunch. And so this is
Okay.
I think our 3rd year in a row. It's a nice
Mm,
Christmas tradition where we go see the trains with Pops and Cece. That's their grandparents' names.
yep.
With Pops and Cece, and then we go up to Chick-fil-A and we all have a nice lunch, and it's just so pure and so much fun, and it was great. It was so good.
I love a tradition. I love things like
Yes.
that. It's good stuff. You know what you need to do?
Tell me.
And you love to travel with 4 kids. I know you're big,
Okay,
let's
you
all get
lost
on a
me. Yeah,
plane
you
guy,
lost
right?
me at
Let's do it.
travel with 4 kids.
But you know what's better than model trains?
Real trains.
Real trains. And
Yeah, we
in
don't have that down
Connecticut,
here.
I know there's no trains in the middle of the country
No.
at all. In Connecticut, maybe 45 minutes from my house, there's a train museum. It's
Okay.
got loads of trains parked in the back. It's got a what do you call it? Like one of those spinny things that turns the train around,
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
turntable-y thing. It's got a real name, I
Mhm.
can't remember. It's got an indoor area that has model trains, it's got tons of trains, you can go on the trains. They got old trains, medium old trains, modern trains, the Danbury Train Museum. You should check that out.
Danbury Train Museum.
Get up here.
I'm just gonna go ahead and be totally forthright with you. There's no chance I'm doing that, but maybe when
The
the kids
kids
are
would
much
love
older,
it.
if they're still interested
No,
in
it's not gonna work.
trains,
They won't
it's not gonna work.
be.
It's not gonna work.
No,
So
no,
I
they're gonna hate
appreciate
you.
your suggestion. It has been
Yeah.
noted and discarded. Thank you for contacting support. Yeah.
Are you a, Thomas the Tank Engine family?
No, they don't.
Oh,
They don't
what?
know. Yeah, it's because of the TV thing. They don't know Thomas the
Oh
Tank
my
Engine.
god, you're
I know.
killing me, Aaron. You're
I
killing
know.
me.
I
Come
know.
on,
I know. I know.
Thomas. He's a happy little guy. You gotta get on Thomas. Just get on
I
Thomas.
know.
Let him just watch
However,
Thomas.
we did watch Frosty the Snowman this weekend. We watched a movie,
Okay. Very
from
nice little
whatever,
family
from the
movie.
60s or 70s or whatever,
Yeah.
the animated one.
The
And
last time they made him.
anything past probably the 80s or 90s, they haven't seen. But we
Right.
watched Frosty the Snowman, and it was great.
Listen, Thomas the Tank Engine's from the '90s, man. Like
I know. I
so it's
know.
good. You gotta get on it. I'm gonna harp on this one because it's here's one of the best parts. Okay, so kids, all their toys are shit garbage, right? Like
Mm.
as the kids get bigger, you're just gonna throw these things out. Most of
Oh
them aren't
yeah,
gonna make it that far because they're gonna break because they're
big
garbage,
time.
right? Thomas the Tank Engine is not garbage. It's all wood, and it's like people buy you them and they're wood and they're awesome and they last forever. This is like the only toy I insisted we keep. Jamie's big on cleaning things up, She doesn't really like to keep the
Yeah,
old
the
toys.
nerve.
But
Yeah.
even she was on board with keeping Thomas,
So
especially the engines themselves. Oh, so good.
we have a train table that is
Okay.
maybe Thomas the Tank Engine. We
There's a
got it
lot of
off.
knockoff ones.
It might be knockoff. We got it off Facebook Marketplace, and they
Okay.
had they were cleaning out. And
Mhm.
so we got all this whole giant set,
Okay.
table and little wooden pieces and
Yeah.
everything. And
Okay.
then we had my dad affix it all to the table. So
I gotta fix it.
come up with
Yes.
one blessed configuration,
Mhm.
and then that's it, kids. It's affixed. And so maybe that is, I want to say it's Melissa and Doug, but maybe that's
It
not right.
probably is Melissa and Doug. How much did you pay a
Whatever it
lot
is,
for
they
it or
sell it
not
at
that
Barnes and
much?
Noble, because we'll go to Barnes and Noble and they have
Yes. Okay.
the right stuff that matches the
We
one
used to
that we
go there and get
have.
Thomas,
So it
so
might
it
it
could be
might actually be
Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah.
Okay. We did the affixing too. It wasn't the affixing has its ups and downs.
It
Like,
does.
part of the beauty of it is the building of the different tracks
I
every
know.
time is
I
kind of
know.
amazing, but then when they're little and they just break it and they wanna
Mhm.
play the trains, but they can't. So I would leave some unaffixed if I was you. Is you have a little on the
Well,
floor time, and then you
I think
have on the
we've
table time.
crossed the affixed threshold,
Cross the Rubicon.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Um, well, you get some more track, a little floor playing, we'll build custom
A little
tracks.
custom build. Okay. I'll think
Yeah,
about that. Yes,
yeah.
we do love playing with the I think it's
Oh,
Thomas, the
one of my
train.
favorite
So
things.
I'm
Yeah,
on board with
okay.
that. I'm on board with
Alright, I'm
that. You got me
mostly on
there.
board
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
toy
yeah.
more than the TV show, really.
Sure, yeah.
The TV show is kind of it's a little dark at times, got a little edge to it, like,
Yeah,
not
I've
in the,
seen
like
some memes. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
sometimes it comes up and it's like, is this real? Is this
And
actually what Thomas
and
says?
and then I think it's, like, English too, so it's got, like, that
Mhm.
I don't know if it's faux English. They are English, whether or not it is made in England or it's Americans pretending to be English. I do not know,
It's got that
but
wry wit about it.
yeah, it's got a little bit of the humor is a little bit like not standard American kid humor, so which I always enjoyed. But let the kids watch a little TV, play some Thomas. But I'm glad to hear you're on the train set. That's the main thing because those
Yes,
toys are
we
good
have the train
toys.
set. Yes,
Yeah, they
they
got
are.
the. You have any of the battery powered ones?
We do, yeah.
I love the battery ones. They say
Those
little sayings.
Yeah, those get beat to hell pretty quick. So I don't know how many of them are working, but we do have some.
Oh no! See, that's making me think this isn't authentic Thomas because our Thomas ones got beat to hell and they all
Kept
still
on
work.
trucking?
Yes. So my kid was 15 now. Diesel 10 is one of the characters. He loved his Diesel 10. He would bang it on stuff. He'd try to run it over his sister's head, all kinds of
Yeah.
things. Great stuff. Diesel
We
10
might
still
have we
going.
might have Temu battery powered ones. We might not have
So
the
you
real
got the
official sanctioned
knockoff.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah. You give us an update next week. I want to know if this is legit Thomas or not.
Yeah, I will.
All right. All right. What else? I went to Costco this weekend.
Hey, so did I. I didn't see you there.
What? I love
Yeah.
Costco.
Unbelievable. What'd you get at Costco? Did you get a new TV?
No, I've never bought any of that kind of
They
stuff
make
at
you walk
Costco.
past the TVs, man.
I know.
I walked
I
past a
know.
TV that was like 18 feet wide and it cost a
I know.
nickel. And I was like,
I know.
should I get this?
I should just get it, right? Like, why did
Yes.
I not have a $500
I don't
87-inch TV? It
I
doesn't
don't
make sense.
know.
Just put it out
Yeah.
front. It doesn't matter. Like, I could do anything with it. If it breaks in the year, who
Yes,
cares?
they walk you through impulse corridor before you can even get to like the 6 gallons of nuts that you actually want to buy. And you're like, this is the biggest TV the world has ever seen.
So you have a big family, but your kids aren't that old yet. So I don't
Correct.
know where you are on the spectrum. But see, for us, we can't even risk. We don't even go that whole side of the store. Like we have to walk past the TVs and stuff. We walk right past it. There's a whole that side of the store, at least at ours. It's like house home goods
Yeah.
and like stuff like that, right? I've never even been in those aisles. I've never been in them
Mm.
because we go right to the food side. And the cart when we leave there is, it's ridiculous. It's overflowing. So we can't afford the space of like, oh, let's get this home tchotchke in a box. There's no room for the home tchotchke in the box. There's only room for food. So we go right to the food. We do the food. Takes forever. We go to the fresh food stuff at the end. You pile all that in and meat and stuff. And it's like, then we got to get out of there to load and reload and unload and reload and unload and reload 1,000 items. So yeah, I don't ever get distracted by that stuff. Maybe someday, but right now
I
I'm
get
on a
distracted.
mission.
I took the babies. I took the 2-year-olds, and so
You're just
I'm
wandering.
cruising every aisle.
Yeah,
Literally,
you're not
I'm
even
like, I don't
shopping.
care
You're
where
just-
anything is. I'm gonna
Right,
look
this
on
is just
every
an
aisle. Do we
adventure.
need tires? Because we're on the tire aisle right now, and
They
it's
must love
just
the
like,
tires, right?
oh, they love the tires. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just walking across every aisle, and then we finally find the almond flour crackers, and we're like, great, we got them. We can go home now. So we buy like 6
Yeah.
gallons of milk, almond
Right.
flour crackers, and then like 800 rolls of toilet paper. And like, all right, let's go. We're good. We can get out of here. Costco.
See,
Love the Costco. Love the Costco.
I would love to use Costco that way. Here's the thing, the difference between you and me. This is, I just want to say, you say you don't live in the city. You live next to the Louis Vuitton Mall. I have to
Yeah.
drive over an hour to the Louis Vuitton Mall, okay? You live right next to the Costco. You just use it as a play date for your kids.
I never said right next to you. It is 18
How far?
minutes from our house.
Okay, 18 minutes. I have to go, again, an hour to get to the Costco.
Sounds
1
like
hour.
a you thing. Yep.
1 hour is the closest Costco. So I have to go a full hour. So I can never use it like, let's get the giant roll of toilet paper and some almond crackers. I can't ever use it that way because I just drove an hour. So I have to load
That
up.
sucks for you.
If we're in my wife's car, she insists on getting gas. We have to get gas this time.
Internal combustion engine people.
It's
What's their
ridiculous.
deal, man?
It's stupid. It's like the best part of electric cars, I never go outside in the winter to pump gas. Never, ever.
No, you just have
But
to
if
stop
I
on your road
go
trips to charge up for a
with the
couple hours.
wife,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
so
once
much
a year,
better.
though.
It's
Once
so
a
much
year I take a
better.
road trip.
Yeah, definitely.
So I go over there. We go. I have to get out of the car and pump 6 gallons of gas. She doesn't even need gas.
What is
Like, I get
this?
out and pump 6
2019?
gallons.
You're getting out of the car to pump gas?
She's so excited about the cheap gas. This is like her big thing. She loves the cheap Costco gas. It tastes delicious, blah, blah. So we get the cheap Costco gas. It's a whole production. I don't know. So that part I don't like about Costco. When I go in my car, none of that stuff. I don't pump any gas.
You don't pump any gas. You're just watching the battery like a hawk to make sure you don't get stranded on the side of the road. Yeah, I get
The
it.
only thing
That's
Costco needs
great.
to improve is, have you been to Sam's Club? Do you know about Sam's Club?
I was a Sam's Club kid. That's what I grew up on.
Okay. So Sam's Club is an innovator, unlike Costco in certain areas, because they're, it's Walmart, whatever. They're trying
Yeah.
to save every penny they can. And you can just scan on your phone as you shop. And now you don't have to unload and you don't have to reload. It like cuts a
Really?
whole step of the whole
And
process.
then you
And
just
it's a
walk
great
up
step.
to the checkout with your
No,
phone and
no, you walk the heck out of the building. You just
what?
run out of there like you're stealing it, but you're not stealing it. You've already paid for it on your
Do they
phone.
still have the guy at the exit checking your receipt or whatever?
Yes, it's kind of weird. You walk through this thing now, which is like there's electronic, and I think is
Oh,
like
you walk
connected
through
to
an
your
orb, yeah.
phone or something.
Mhm.
There's like a thing. So there's kind of a guy. What do those people do?
The checkout, the receipt
Yeah,
guys?
the receipt guy.
I have no idea.
Nobody knows what they do. They
You
don't have a
walk through
purpose.
you No, you walk out, they look at your receipt,
Uh
and then they draw a big Sharpie line down it, and I have no idea what just happened.
They don't like check for the
They don't say
expensive stuff.
anything.
No, they're not like,
I don't say
oh,
anything.
this thing cost $100. Let me look and let me see
Let
it
me
or
make sure
whatever.
you
And
got
even
it.
that wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make any
You
sense because you paid the $100. What do they
and
care if you don't have it?
you with your cart, you're like the Grinch who stole Christmas. It's overflowing. You
That's
got
what I'm
ropes on
saying.
the cart.
I
There's
have
no
no
way he can see
idea.
what's in there.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what those guys do. I have no idea.
And wouldn't you be looking for things that aren't on the receipt? Like if it's a security thing, you'd be
Yes,
like,
you
it's
would be.
right. Like you have a
Yes.
$100 thing in here, but there's no $100 thing on this
You'd pay
receipt.
more attention to the cart than the
Right.
receipt. They only are looking
Yes.
at the receipt.
There's some psychological thing, and I
Yeah.
don't look it up on purpose because I just want to be fascinated
You
every
want to be a
time I'm
part of the
there.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanna know,
Yeah.
like, I wanna be in the training, and they're being like, "Listen, you
Hmm.
gotta take this very seriously. Look like you're doing something. You're not doing anything.
Not
You're
doing
not doing
anything.
anything,
Not doing
but you gotta
anything.
look like you're doing something, right? Like, that's what we want you to do."
I don't
Because
get
the
it. All of our
psychologists have
European
figured it
listeners they have no idea. They
No
don't
idea what's going on.
understand becoming a member of
No
a
idea.
grocery store.
No.
They can't fathom that. They don't
Driving an
understand
hour to it?
driving anywhere. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They were on board for the
No.
train discussion, and then we
They
moved
like
into
that part.
membership grocery stores and
Yeah.
driving, and they're like, "What the hell's going on in America?" Listen, it would blow your mind. It would
Here
blow your. Was it Gorbachev that walked into the United States grocery store, and there's
it
that
was.
picture of him, and he's just like amazed at all the things that we have in the grocery store?
Yeah.
That's what the average European would look like walking into a Costco. They would just be amazed. What is
Yes.
going on here?
A
Gorbachev. That was a deep
Costco
pull. That was pretty good.
you know what's up. You're a man of history, a
I
student.
know. Peter Jennings taught me everything I know.
Yeah, I love Peter. This is why we work together because we
R.I.P.
both are Peter Jennings guys.
I know.
Yes. So the other thing Europeans couldn't, even if we describe it, they won't understand is how big the Costco shopping cart is.
No, they wouldn't get it.
It's a European car. Like that's the
Yes.
size of the shopping cart, and you're pushing this thing. You're putting groceries in it. It's that big. I'm not exaggerating. That's how large the cart is. It's
And
crazy.
you're picking up a thing of milk that holds 4 things of milk. It's like there's a milk container, and then they put it all together with cardboard, and then you pick it all up, and it's 4 things of milk, and you throw it in your cart. You're picking up 24 eggs at once in one
Yeah.
container, and you probably are grabbing 2 of them. You're picking up 48 eggs, and that'll last you till Tuesday. Yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy.
It's
Wild things
crazy.
happening over here in America.
It really is.
All right, that's the
Anyway.
that's the trains and grocery stores segment of the show, which
Let's pay some bills.
this week is brought to you by our friends at Flair by Spotsy. Flair is all in one error tracking and performance monitoring for your Laravel application. You can find them at flairapp.io/performance-monitoring. Thank you to Flair. This week is also brought to you by, just like every other week before it, Bento, the email marketing and CRM platform teams actually love, including the Try Hard Studios team. Send your product marketing and transactional email with Bento, one app, all of your email marketing needs. Thank you to Bento and Jesse for sponsoring the show. And Titan. Titan builds and rescues not only web apps, but dev teams. So if your web app is a disaster, or candidly, if your team is a disaster, Titan can rescue you. Member of good standing in the Laravel community for over a decade. Thank you to Titan for sponsoring the show. You can find them at Titan, TIGHTEN.com. Thank you to them. And finally, Nusi, Proposals. This is the one Ian loves because this is
I love
business
this
dad
one.
right here. Newsy is a proposal software built for developer agencies and high-end SaaS sales. Get real-time notifications the moment prospects open your proposal and know exactly when to follow up to close more deals. Try it for free at nusii.com, NUSII.com. This is created by a indie hacker, a solo hacker, a bootstrapper friend of mine for a number of years. So check out Newsy proposals at newsy.com. What a good lineup we've got there.
Little sponsor update. I sent my first emails to Bento last
Hey, the
week.
Bento Man.
I'm in the family now, man.
I
It worked
love that
great.
for you. For what
Fantastic product.
product or service line or what?
I did 2 different products. I did a Lara Jobs little end of year thing for people who
Cool.
previously posted on Lara Jobs,
Smart.
and did a for HelpSpot, building a new website, blah blah blah. I want some like new testimonials and things, so sent out an email to some contacts and stuff there to get some new testimonials. Flawless, excellent
Love
delivery.
it.
Yeah, it's great. It's very like I've been looking for the right word for it because it's not your standard like B2B app,
No, it's
and
not, is it?
it's very different. And I think like tactile is the word. It's like
It
it's
is
very
tactile.
tactile.
It
That's what
is.
it is. Yes. So
Yes.
he's made a lot of interesting choices other people wouldn't make,
Yep.
but I think it's working. And I like it. It's got a good feel in there. You know, it's like
You're
yeah,
absolutely right that it does. The interface feels unlike any other.
yeah.
It's not like the sparse modern like
No, there's a lot going on.
light gray on white
Right.
interface.
No.
Not even a little bit.
No. And there's just like there's kind of buttons everywhere and there's stuff everywhere. And at first it's like maybe a hair overwhelming. You're like, oh, what's going on here? But then like you kind of get in there and you're like, okay,
Mhm.
I see where this is going. And you send some email and it goes good. A lot of good help in the right
A lot of good
spots.
help in there,
So that was really
contextualized help.
good.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
videos of Jesse. Also, you land on a page and you're like, "Hey, it's me, Jesse. Do you need some help
Yep.
with this?" Yeah,
Yep. So good job,
we
Bento.
we love a product vision.
Yep. Okay. I mean, I have a million things to talk about, but what do you want? What do you want to start?
I don't know.
You
You
want to
pick
do
one. I just talked a lot about trains and grocery
I
stores.
guess that's true. Do I want to rant? Do we want to save my rant, or do you want to rant now?
You want to rant about resumes?
I got a little bit of a rant.
All right, give us a rant. I'll provide a counterbalance. You go.
Well, here's the thing. I got a little story. It's a story. I mean, every time we talk about hiring people on here, people get mad at me.
You get in
right?
trouble.
And I get in trouble that people don't like to hear how it actually works, how the pizza's made, and all this stuff. Fine. And most of the time, it's about the idea of like cover letters, and I shouldn't have to do
Mhm.
cover letters, and it's not fair, and
Mhm.
blah, blah. Okay, fine. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna flip the script here. I'm gonna take the different approach. I'm gonna look at it from their perspective.
Oh
I went
wow.
on a little mission this weekend. It's like, all right, I'm applying for a job. Let me see what Google does. Let me see what Apple does. Those are the 2 I looked at. Big tech companies. But go to Google. A little side thing here. They want your resume to apply initially. That's like part of the step. So I send them I dig up my resume from 2002.
You're never
I
getting this job.
Let me tell you, that resume is better than 90% of resumes out there. My 20-year-old resume, it has detailed facts, it has proof, it has specifics about what I did and why I did it. Like I'm telling you, it's better than 90% of resumes I read. So
Well,
I
this is
might
going
post this
great so far.
on the
Yeah.
internet for you people. But anyway.
You're definitely going to win over the haters by telling them that your 20-year-old resume is
My
better than
20-year-old resume,
90%.
it's
Yeah,
better.
okay.
It's
No,
just
this
better.
is great.
All right, so I've uploaded this resume. Google does some AI magic stuff, which was also very impressive. It takes all the stuff out of your resume because they have a big form thing after this point,
Yeah.
and you got to fill out this big form. Okay, it shoves a bunch of stuff. It takes the stuff from your resume and fills the form for you.
Hey,
It
that's
does
progress.
it does some like just straight magic stuff. My last job was at Marist College, and last year, like not even a year ago, last like January, they changed their name to Marist University, and it's like 100-year-old college or whatever.
Mhm.
My resume says Marist College, of course, because it's 20 years old. It magically updates it to Marist University. So like it puts my employment and it puts Marist University. Like it
That's pretty
knows to
good.
make it Marist University. Like that, my mind was blown. I was like, this is
Pretty
very
good.
impressive. There's a spot for a cover letter. It's optional, but there's a spot for it. And then whatever. Then you could go farther. I didn't go farther than that. Okay. Then I go to Apple. They're just a resume. Nothing else you can give them. You can
Hmm.
only give them a resume,
I love that
and
you applied for jobs
that's
at
fine.
Google and Apple.
Like, so whatever. I shove that thing in there. That's it. There's nothing else to do. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Let's say, okay, I'm approaching this. I want to get this job at Apple. Okay. There's 600 software engineering jobs open at Apple right now.
Good grief.
Okay. There's a place to put your resume. That's it. That's all you
Okay.
got. So do we think that my unedited, completely generic resume I throw up to every other job is the best way to get a job at Apple? Is that going to work?
This feels like a leading question, but no, I don't feel
No,
like that's going to
it's
work.
not going to work, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I have to
So what's the
like
move?
so, like, what would I do? Okay. So I was like really thinking about this. All right. First, I'm going to go on Reddit. I'm going to go all over the internet. I'm going to be like, what does the application process look like? People who get to an interview, what were the things that they were able to figure out they went through to even get to the point of their first interview, right? Like, was there some automated step before that? Was there a phone call with HR before that? Like, what happened on the path to them getting a real interview with somebody technical about a software job, right? Okay. Now I got to take all that information, I got to assimilate it into, okay, this goes through an AI filter and it goes through an HR person who doesn't know anything about anything. How do I get past those two checkpoints with this resume to even get to the technical person who's going to read this resume, right? So now I'm got to put in a bunch of work around that. I have my little intro, what's my career goal thing. I got to make that super count because now I don't have a cover letter to explain it. I only have this resume. So that thing's got to be super tight. My job experience, every single one of them needs to be edited to be like, okay, this is a software engineer at Apple. This is the division it's for. What do they want to see in this division? What in my experience is relevant to this division of Apple that's hiring a software engineer? To go through all that, customize the whole resume, which is great. But that's how I would approach it, which doesn't sound like a little amount of work. You should do that for every job, every single job. You need to know what the application process is like. You need to customize the resume, blah, 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 all those parts. So that's my rant.
Two things.
Yes.
One, I agree with you. I think that's right.
Okay.
Two, I think you made the mad people even madder. I don't know what you were trying to accomplish. I don't know if you were trying to win hearts and minds.
No, not necessarily.
But I think they're just going to be madder at you.
That's probably true. But you know,
Yeah.
there's people out there who don't speak up, who aren't necessarily mad at me. And I was like, you know
That is
what?
true.
Or maybe they're mad in silence, but they don't understand what the alternative is. So this is my little 2 cents at the alternative. If you want to just throw a resume over the wall, that's fine. And there's a lot of companies that only want a resume over the wall. And that's fine. But then you still have to play the game and
All
put the
right.
work in to customize the resume so they can get through the wall.
Here's one for you. What do you
Mm.
say to the person that did customize the resume, put a
Yes.
lot of energy into an
Yes.
application and didn't get the job, get an interview, or get a call back? What
Yeah.
do you say to that person?
Yeah, I think this is the problem, right? Of course, there's like I went back and looked at this. So last time we hired this software, the support engineer job, like 3 or 4 years ago, we had 2,000 applicants
Good
at our
Lord.
little 4 or 5 person company, right? This time we had about 300 applicants, but we required a video. So that's with a video requirement. You had to record a
300
video.
people
We
recorded
got
a
300
video.
people. Yes. So
Good
there's a
Lord.
lot of competition out there. So you're probably going to have to do this a lot, but it's like still so much better. If you go from 1% chance of being seen to 5%, right? That's 500% more likely you get found, right? So you need to do that every single time. And it's going to be super annoying and super hard. And you should also be networking. You should also be, obviously, it's better to get exposure if you can have an open source thing you're working on or a free thing or make a blog popular, whatever, start a podcast. It's of course better to have people know who you are and say, oh, that so-and-so is looking for a job. I have an opening. Maybe we'll get them in here, right? Like that's ideal, of course. So work on that stuff while you're doing all this other stuff. You got to do everything all at once. But that's just the way it is. That's how I feel now today. I have to do everything all at once in this job I have, right? Like I'm doing stuff all the time. So that's your job is to get a job. That's how I look at it. And it's going to be frustrating. But so is when you have a job. My job is frustrating now a lot of the time. But that's how it is. So yeah, I don't have a great advice on a lot of things people say, but it's just that a lot of people don't do those things, right? Or they do it for a week and then they get frustrated and they stop doing it. And that's not going to work. So, yeah, I mean, I think, again, like smaller companies give you an unfair advantage. I'd much rather be applying to Userscape than Apple because Userscape, I can know so much about Userscape and what we do because the founder is out there talking about it every week.
All the time. all the time. He's just
Right.
out there talking.
He's out there every minute. Whereas like the middle manager at Apple who's hiring the software engineer is some unknown person. The whole system's designed to make sure they are unknown because
Yeah.
they don't want people mad at them when they reject the 7,000 applicants for that job, right? The whole thing is structured to like hide them, right? So you're not going to be able to find out who the hiring manager is and get any insights about what they're into and stuff like that. The other thing I'd say is apply to things that, this is another thing I thought of, but apply to things that are, it's hard to figure out how to put this, but like a little different than the core job you're looking for. Like my last job, I was the assistant director of academic technology and e-learning. Okay.
In 2002?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was
So the
not
statute of
qualified.
limitations of usefulness might have run on this
No,
anecdote,
no,
but
no.
continue. I will
No,
allow
no,
it.
because it's about the concept, right? So if you're the assistant director of academic technology and e-learning, the traditional background would be like you have some kind of education degree, you have a master's in some kind of education thing, and you have some kind of technology focus that gives you like the technology part. But the technology part's not traditionally like coding. It's just like being aware of how technology works and integrating it into the classroom. That's the background you're supposed to have. I don't have any of that background. Okay. I have none of that background. But the director of academic technology and e-learning hated IT. And IT would always push him around and not build any of the stuff he wanted and wasn't technical at all because he
Classic
had the
IT.
education background. And so he wanted an assistant director who was technical and could be the interface to IT. And when IT was screwing him, could be like, no, of course you can do that. Why are you saying you can't do that? Blah, blah. So he hired me to be that. So sometimes you can use your knowledge in different ways. Don't just apply to every support or programmer job, right? Like try different jobs. Like a support engineer is a great example, or whatever. All these different little edge cases where like some technical knowledge would be good. Maybe a project manager, a program manager, whatever. All those kind of things. Where the technical, somebody might be looking for something more technical than traditionally, and that gives you an edge. That would probably be another approach I would take there.
Assistant director
Mhm.
of technology. What is
No,
it?
no, no. Assistant Director of Academic Technology and E-Learning.
I mean, the job description is kind of the title. They couldn't have possibly picked anything longer for the
It's a long
title itself.
title.
There's nothing
Yeah,
left to put in the description. It just says see above.
it
That's
was
a
great.
ridiculous title.
The
That's
business
absurd.
card was awesome. It was
I'm
like
sure
the
I'm sure the
longest
Google
title.
application form truncated that and they're like, "No, there's no title that's actually ever been that long. I'm
We
sorry,
summarized
sir.
that.
We'll just put you
Gemini
as
summarized
assistant to
this.
the director. That's all I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
put."
So
All right. Well, if you're mad at Ian, you can tweet at Mostly Technical Pod. Please
there you
don't
go.
tag me in on it. I don't want to see it. I'm happy that you're mad. I'm mad that you're mad. Whatever you want, I'm with you. I don't want to see it.
Ooh,
Let's.
ooh. No,
Okay.
no.
All
One more
right.
thing.
Yep.
One
Tell
more
me.
thing. There's a question for you because another thing I thought of was recruiters, which I'm kind of for the idea of recruiters. If you can get a recruiter to take you on, I think that's a little bit of an edge because they're going to be out there. They have connections. Um, the thing is, recruiters, their mindset, their motivation is like they get paid by a percentage of the salary of the
Yeah.
person they place. So, if you're not very high up the salary tree, they're not going to be as motivated for you. And also, the higher up the salary tree you are, usually the more people are just looking to hire you anyway, and it's a little
Yep.
bit different game. But if you can get in with a recruiter, I think that's not too bad. I don't know. Have you ever used a recruiter? I did
Early in my
once, I
career, I
think.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So recruiter can be a way into, I was thinking as a, you do less work that way. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yep.
You
They
get to
bring
use
you
their
jobs. It's kind of
connections.
nice.
Yeah. They'll help you clean up your resume for each
Yep.
job usually and things like that.
Yep.
So
They got me a job early when I was just getting out of my first professional programming job. They got me my second.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
it's
I've
fine.
known people who've done very well with it because it's like once the recruiter gets a hold of you, like they'd rather just place people they already know. So it's like,
Correct.
oh, 2
Yeah.
years. Okay, you've been there 2 years. Let's like on to the next one,
Yep.
which may or may not be the best thing for your career, but whatever. Like it usually gets you a step up in pay and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Anyway, all right, there's my rant for the day.
Whew.
Let's go to technical. It's about something technical. Give us something technical.
Database school playgrounds.
Yes. We've been
They're
talking about this for a
working,
long
baby.
time.
They're working,
out
baby.
there.
All right.
Okay.
So here's the
What happened?
situation.
Mhm.
We've got Advent of Sequel going on, which is, 15 days of adorable Christmas themed sequel challenges, right?
Hold on. I guess that'd be that. Isn't an advent calendar supposed to be 25 days?
We do what we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot
So,
of these truncated it's not just you, I see a lot of them, and I'm always like,
yeah.
"Wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to start on the 1st. What's going on here?"
Yeah, I'm kind of just
Okay.
co-opting a deeply held religious belief for a little bit of marketing and shortening it down a little bit. So,
The
my bad,
truncated
dog.
version, yeah, there
Yeah.
we go, okay. Alright.
I'm instead of heralding the advent of the coming of Christ, I'm trying to get a few more people on my email list.
There
So,
you go.
we can debate that offline. Who
Sure.
knows? But yes,
Yeah.
we're doing 15 days because
Okay.
this is the first year doing it, and
Mm,
I think we released Intro to Postgres like 2 weeks or a week before December 1st, and I was like, this is not going to work.
right.
So yes, a truncated advent of sequel.
'Kay.
As a part of this, obviously it's challenges, right? And
Mm,
so a big part of it is like do the challenge, see if you can get it.
mhm,
Of course we could provide and do provide downloadable, SQL that you can like run in Table Plus on your local Postgres. That's fine. I don't care.
mhm,
It's more fun and more useful to be able to just do it right there in the browser.
mhm.
And so we've talked about this architecture before. One instance where you were famously wrong. You've had a good run recently, but that one way back
Yeah.
then, you were just like
I wasn't
wild. That
I
was
wasn't
out
thinking
there.
clearly back then, yeah.
No, you were off. You
Yeah,
were off that day. You probably had
yeah.
a gallbladder thing going on, but you
Yeah,
were
exactly.
way
Yeah.
wrong. So as a recap, the architecture that we've settled on is the back end is just a database school platform. It's just a Laravel website. The front
Mhm.
end is just Vue.js, inertia's in the middle, all totally normal standard.
Normal. Yeah.
Um, so what happens is on the front end, the users, watching a video and they pause it for challenge time. They scroll down a little bit and they hit connect to database or like start database or whatever. And that's a
Mm,
Vue component. And it fires a request off to Laravel. Then Laravel goes out to fly.io and says, I need a new machine. And in their
mhm.
parlance, a machine is it's basically a micro VM. So, you
Okay.
could spin up
Mhm.
a machine that's got like a gig of RAM and a vCPU, and it's like completely isolated from everything else in your system. But it's also
Yep.
long running, so you can keep it alive for however long you want. So it's kind of like a Lambda, but a little bit more powerful.
Yep.
So the Laravel app spins up a new machine, and there's some heuristics around that which I think are very interesting, but we'll
Mm,
we'll go there later. And then it comes back to the front end and says, "Great, I have a machine. It's been assigned to you." So in the back end, we have a table that just says like a machine. Here's their IPv6 of the machine. Here's the user ID, and here's the video that they're currently watching. And
yep.
that's it. Like we just send back to the front end. You're good to go. You don't need to know
Mhm.
any details about it. Have fun. Then the playground comes alive and they can type in SQL statements. And then it sends it through the Laravel application. And then on the
Mhm.
back end, we look up the machine again and we create a on the fly ad hoc Laravel database connection. So you know how you can
Mhm.
have multiple database connections in
Yep.
Laravel? You can have like one for your cache and queues and one for your main
Right.
application or
Like
whatever.
predefined ones you're talking about
Exactly.
there. Yeah. Mhm.
There is a DB build that allows you to build a new database connection on the fly. That's what we do. We just build a
Yeah.
new database connection
Mhm.
on the fly that is has their IPv6 in it. It's actually over this private network to fly, so their machine's not even exposed to the public internet, which is
Yep.
why it runs through our server. So they post to
Mhm.
our server, we build the database connection, we run it through the private network over to Fly, run the actual commands, get the results back through Laravel, back out to the front end. They see results as if they were in Table Plus. And it works
There you
great. It's so
go.
fun. It's awesome.
Man. So now on the front end, what's it show? Like, is it like a SQL box, like just a text area and like a
Yeah, it looks
table
just like
or
Table Plus basically without like
okay.
the table navigator area.
Right,
So the
right.
top part is SQL editor with like proper syntax highlighting and all of that stuff. Bottom
Mhm.
part is a results grid that shows the result set sent back from the query.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it all works.
And it all works. It all works. And
And then
I had a few hiccups
okay.
which we can talk about around machine reservation, but you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was, but now I can't remember what it was. Oh, how do you kill them off? Like, just
Okay,
after a
great.
certain
So we'll do
time
the
period?
whole life cycle then. So
Okay.
every video on the back end, I have a couple of base Docker images, Postgres 17 being the relevant one for this conversation.
Mhm.
So I have a Postgres 17 Docker file on the back end. Excuse me. In our filament admin panel, I can go in and say, like, hey, I need a new Docker image. We're going to start with the Postgres 17 Docker file that's defined in our code base. And then on top of that, I want to layer this SQL file that's, like 40 megs or 50 megs of like SQL statements to insert all this data.
Mm.
So I have the Docker file, the data, and then on our backend, we can hit build image, and that bakes all of that together into one Docker image,
Mhm.
and that pushes it up to the Fly registry. So
Mhm.
then on the back end, it spawns a Laravel job that's like, hey, take these two things, put them together, use the Fly CLI to create a Docker image, and then give me the tag for that Docker image. So then in our back end, we see like, these named Docker images. It's like
Mhm.
Advent of SQL days 1 through 3, Advent of SQL's day 4 through 7, or whatever.
Mhm.
Then we can assign Docker images to videos and say, like, this
Mhm.
video requires this Docker image. And inside that Docker image, of course, is all the data that supports that video. Now, when the backend sees our backend sees that a Docker image is assigned to a video, we have a set of heuristics to build up a pool of machines. So
Mhm.
machines come from Docker images. So we have a heuristic to build up a pool of machines. Now there are two states in Fly that are that are basically stopped states. One is
Mhm.
truly stopped. This machine is
Right.
like stopped, and a cold start could take many 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 seconds. The other is suspended, which costs a little bit more, but a cold start could take 200 milliseconds.
Oh, wow,
And
okay.
so what we do is we build up a pool of suspended machines.
Mm.
So for any given Docker image, we'll have 4 to 5 suspended machines.
Right.
And it could take a minute and a half to create a machine because you have to create it. Postgres has to start. You have to run, thousands of these
Yep.
insert statements. And then finally, it's ready to receive connections. So in the back end, we start up all these machines and then we suspend them. So then when a user goes to claim a machine, they claim out of the suspension pool. And they
Mhm.
just get a machine in 200 milliseconds and
Yep.
they're ready to go. And then in the back end, we have a balance heuristic that says, oh, we're running a little low on suspended machines for this image. Let's create some new ones.
Yep.
Now, the way that we kill machines is one, a user can request a new one. So, like if they just totally dork everything up, they can hit reset
Yep.
database and it just drops it out of the pool. The other is we fire heartbeats from the front end. So we fire a
Mm.
heartbeat like every 10 seconds. And on the machine record in Laravel, we store when the last heartbeat was. And if we haven't heard a heartbeat in, I forget what it is, 15 minutes or something, we
Right.
assume they've navigated away. They're not using this one.
Yep.
And we put the machine into stopped state and then destroyed state. So once a
Yep.
machine is stopped, we never reuse it
Yep.
because that contains prior session data, which isn't like I don't care. It's just it would be confusing if they loaded it up and somebody mucked
Yeah.
around with the data. So
Yep.
once it goes into a stopped state, it then finally transitions to a destroyed state. And that's the whole life cycle. So we have the pooling, the balancing, the claiming, and then the stopped, and then the destruction. How about that, Ian?
That's
Still
pretty good.
technical, baby. Still
It's pretty good.
technical.
He still got it. You don't have this on the homepage though. I looked. I
I
looked.
know.
Where's
I
the
know.
we gotta update the marketing. This is like
I
a
know.
cool little
This is
gizmo
cool.
that's fairly
Yep.
unique. I don't know if anybody else is doing this or not
I
many
don't
other
think
people
so.
are doing it. So yeah, I like this.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun. I'm with you. And it's gonna be good. You can do the Redis, you can do the other stuff,
Yep.
whatever. I like that that you're already utilizing it with like the advent of SQL is pretty
Hmm.
interesting. Like you'll be able to leverage this in other ways besides just like the big courses and stuff.
Yep.
So you can always, even when you make one-off videos and things, it won't be too
Exactly.
big a deal.
Totally.
I mean, the advent of AI is going to make making the fake data for these courses so much
I know.
nicer, I
It
assume.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah, rather than having to like just spend time making up data, which is realistic.
Always been a surprisingly hard part is like
Yeah, it really
coming up with the
is.
sample data to teach the actual thing.
Yes.
Surprisingly
Yeah.
difficult.
Yep. and not just your brain just wants to make it all the same, and it's like, no, that's not
I
really
know. User
realistic. And
1
then
through user 1000 is not actually
yeah,
that useful. Yeah.
nope, nope. So okay, so yeah, it's launched, and I guess
It's
other I'm
launched.
sure you had a few bugs or whatever, but
We
like
did have a
otherwise,
few
it's
bugs.
you're utilizing it. People are using it.
Yes, the
It's
biggest
going
bug
smooth.
was at first I was allowing people to claim both suspended and stopped machines,
Okay,
which, like we talked about, could contain user data, doesn't
right.
necessarily contain user data. But the problem is the stopped machines could take a long, so it was a combination
Mm,
of bugs actually. Stop machine could take a long time. The other problem was I was suspending machines too soon. So I was in my Docker
mm,
file, I was not waiting for, and this is because I'm like, I know literally nothing about Docker. I was not waiting for the database to become ready to receive connections before I suspended.
mm,
And so I was
okay.
suspending, and it's like the database isn't ready to receive connections, and your massive data set hasn't been loaded yet. And so people were
Mm,
claiming these machines, the machines would reanimate from this frozen state and then be like, great, I've got 15 seconds more of provisioning to do. And I was like, what the
okay.
hell? This is supposed to be 200 milliseconds. And so I finally figured out my two errors. One was like, wait until Laravel can successfully ping the Postgres database
Yep.
and get a result back before suspending the machine. And then the other was make the claiming pool exclusively suspended machines and not machines that are startable. Because I have a query
Yep.
scope that's like, is this machine startable? And turns out
Mm,
stopped and suspended machines are
right.
startable. So
Mhm.
the query scope was correct. I was just using it incorrectly.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I think I'm kind of impressed that Fly lets it, like, kills it halfway through, like, the spinning up of Postgres and, like,
Isn't that insane?
reanimates, and even though it takes 15 seconds, you don't want it to take 15 seconds, like, it still would work after
It's
15
still
seconds,
it's
which
like
is
one of
kind of
those,
amazing.
I don't understand that layer of the stack at all, but it's
Right.
like, "Hey, take every bit and byte that is in your memory
Just
and
stop.
just freeze, and we'll be back
Yeah,
in a second." And it's like, "Cool, I can do that." It's crazy,
yeah.
I don't get it at all.
And I definitely think the stop machines you don't want in there because, like, yeah, that's just like even if it's like people could have data in there, which would be bad, but even if they just mucked with it, like you just want it to
That's the
be
problem,
totally
yeah.
clean and pure if they did some
If
delete or
somebody
something and
delete
now
like,
it's
if
not
somebody
right.
hosed the database so badly that they're like, "Ugh, I gotta reset," and then you let someone else claim that, that's gonna be so
Not
confusing.
ideal. Yeah, yeah.
No.
All right, I have another question, but I'm gonna pay the rest of the bills first, and
Please.
then let's do a question. But this week brought to you by TL Draw. Ever wanted to build an app that works kinda like Miro or Figma? You know, an infinitely zoomable multiplayer canvas, but in React with normal React components, right on the canvas? Good news! TL Draw is the world's first, best, and only SDK for building infinite canvas applications in React. Get started for free at tldraw.dev/mostly technical. Should use that URL. Our friends over at OG Kit. OG Kit is the perfect way to add dynamic open graph images to your website using HTML and CSS. And it recently powered the Laravel Wrapped 2025 website. Check them out at ogkit.dev. The new HelpSpot website will also use OG Kit, and it's the easiest OG image installation I've ever done. And finally, by Ittybit. Media APIs for developers. Convert, compress, and extract intelligence data from your video, audio, and image files with just a few lines of code. You can start processing for free at ittybit.com, which I haven't used yet, but I really want to. I just love the whole idea of like sucking data out of these things. So thank you all to sponsoring the show. Okay.
Flawless. You got it. Itty bit. You got it. You nailed it.
Ittybit.
You nailed it.
Don't say the sponsor's names wrong.
No,
Although get some extra
that's rule
airtime
number
saying that.
1 of getting sponsors. Don't say their names wrong. Maybe rule number
um,
1 is don't insult them. Rule number 2 is a
well,
close adjacent.
we can't promise that. All right. I
Question.
feel like you got a lot of stuff built very quickly,
We doing
and
it?
that
Are we doing it?
it would not have been
Are we
possible
doing it?
without AI.
Without AI! The AI podcast! We're back, baby! This is true. I maxed
I
out my
mean,
max plan again. I'm in the icebox
oh,
right now. I cannot use Claude
We
without paying through
too.
the nose. Yep.
Oh my goodness. AI Godfather John L. Nolan says right now Claude is hosed and acting
He
funky,
did
so
say
maybe
that.
it's good, or maybe it's your fault. I
I
don't
know.
know. Who
Maybe
knows?
it's maybe I'm like maybe I timed out at the moment they nerfed it, and when I come back, it'll be ready to go. Yes, it is true. I could not have done this without AI. So my current stack is a combination of Claude 4.5 Opus,
Okay.
AMP code, excuse me, AMP code, which is ampcode.com, not sponsored. And Code Rabbit, also not sponsored, although I did make a great commercial for them.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of sponsored.
yeah, they paid me for a product which I delivered, and now I pay them. So even Steven. Um, I do Code Rabbit for the reviews. And yeah, it's like it has uh substantially sped me up and frankly changed my life. I'm having
Wow.
so much more fun in my work right now than I've had in a
Yep.
very long time
Same.
because it's just like have an idea, do some research, put together a plan, tweak the plan, throw the plan over the wall, watch it work, make a little change, ship
Yep.
it off. It's
Yep.
so much faster. And listen, I love programming. Historically, I have like that's all I've wanted to do. But I find that I am building so much faster now. And the
Yep.
joy is less in the like, what's the perfect abstraction and more in the what can I get shipped? And it's
Yep.
just frankly, it's more fun. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I think it depends a lot on like I've never been too much the like I like to code, but it wasn't ever so much about like, oh, the perfect abstraction or the pattern. Oh, these patterns. I get very excited about them.
Hmm.
It's like I want to implement these ideas I have.
Yes.
And for the AI just makes that so much
It's
nicer. It's
so much
like, yeah,
easier now.
it's so much easier. It's like this it knows the patterns. Great. Use the good
Yes.
patterns.
Yep.
Fantastic. Like I just want this idea to exist or this thing to happen in this way or whatever it is. And now I can stay in that space, which is the space
Hmm.
I prefer, and not worry about that. Oh, I'm not the world's best programmer. I'm doing something stupid, whatever. No, I'm not doing anything stupid because Claude's a better programmer than me.
Yep.
And I gotta eyeball it, of course. You still have to eyeball it to make sure it's not doing anything completely nuts. But definitely with things like Code Rabbit, which I actually want to implement probably this week for us at Userscape, like having another AI, check that AI just to make sure it's not doing anything
I know.
stupid and security stuff, and to check our human stuff too.
Yep.
I think it's great.
I originally thought stuff like Code Rabbit, condolences to Code Rabbit, was stupid. I was like, an AI to check an AI, like the
Yeah,
blind leading the blind, surely they will fall in a pit, as the good word says. And
right.
I was wrong. It's good.
Yeah,
It's really and
yeah.
it catches stuff that Opus didn't catch, catches
Mm.
stuff that Gemini didn't catch. And so I feel like it's one of those it's probably asymptotic. Wow. It's probably asymptotic where it's like
Damn.
one will catch the other, and then the third will catch the fourth, and then it's like you'll never
Sure.
get to 100%, but
Right.
we're narrowing in on it. I don't think I
Yeah.
don't think it can be autonomous and like, hey Siri, build me an app, but I
Right.
think we're getting closer to having these things let us move up the stack quite a bit.
Yeah, and this is where like my brother and I kind of argue about this because he's a little more on the like worried on AGI is going to take over everything
Mm,
tip, and I'm just like I just feel like it's going not quite that way where it's like yeah, you're gonna have this AI, and you have a different specialist AI to check that AI, right? And
mhm,
like we have a Code Rabbit, which part of the reason it catches stuff is because it had a whole different context and
mhm.
it's focused on checking things, not on building things, right? And so,
Correct.
okay, it's like doing that, and you're gonna have more specialists, and you're gonna need companies to build these specialists,
Yep.
and that's gonna have a bunch of jobs in those, right? Of the companies that build the specialist AIs to do the specialist things, and blah blah blah. So I don't know. I feel like that's all going to be kind of fine. I mean, I'm sure certain jobs, like, yes, if I'm a straight click the button software tester, like, you're probably ultimately going to need somewhat less of those. Although I don't think zero either, because it's just stuff the AI, when it comes to like vibes and
Yeah.
stuff, the AI is not quite there. Maybe I'm sure it's going to get somewhat better too. But even then, it's going to be a lot of like the same, which is fine for certain things. But if you're trying to build something that's not the same, like if you want to
Mhm.
build bento, the AI is not going to give you bento, right? The AI is going to
Mm-mm.
give you linear. The AI is going to be trained to give you linear and not bento. So
Mhm.
if you want something with some flavor, then you still need the human element, right? So
And
there's still going to be all that.
I think the flavor, the spice is the sizzle. What's the what am I supposed to
The
say
action
there?
is the juice.
Exactly, that's what I said. I
Yes.
think the flavor is the juice moving
Yeah.
forward
Right.
because, if everybody can vibe slop out a purple and blue gradient, people are gonna
Right.
people are going to tune out on it. Just like
Yep.
bootstrap shells, Twitter bootstrap shells, everyone started to tune out on those eventually. Like
Yep.
the flavor is the action, is the sauce. And so it's like you have to have a point of view. And I
Yeah.
will also say I'm building faster than ever and I have more than ever to build.
There's
And so
always
it's
more to
just
do.
like the road
Yes.
extends before me. It's
Mhm.
induced demand. So I am uh I am not worried about the future of software engineering. Partially worried about the future of my utility as a educator, but which is
Mm.
the opposite of most hype bros. Most hype bros are like, I cannot be replaced, but all of you will be replaced. I'm thinking all of you are going to be fine. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm not worried about, like, we're not going to need developers. I think we're
Right.
going to need more developers than we possibly have in the past.
Yeah, I think so, probably, or something, like a developer, right? Like, something maybe it's a little different than it has been in the past, but somebody who is still steering the ship and, like, making sure things are done right and coming up with new ideas and planning those new projects and
Yes.
ideas and all that stuff, and yeah, it's like, and I don't know, I still don't buy the idea that this isn't gonna be the same as every other big technology shift where, like, in the end, there's actually way more jobs and way more prosperity than there was before the shift, and
I
that's
think it's
not
going to
always a
be
clean
painful.
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always is, right? Like, when you got rid of all the farmers, then that was like I'm sure there was people who used to be farmers who now the tractor does all the work and they aren't there to dig the ditches to plant the seeds, right? But
Something we both
so
know a whole lot about,
I
as
know a lot
evidenced by
about
your example.
that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, most people would rather be working in an office somewhere than digging hard labor for low amounts of money, right? So, like,
Yes,
in the
most
end,
people.
it was improved. So, you still have that same progression. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a good time, I think, to start your own business in some ways, especially if you can do things that are like where you can leverage AI, but not be directly competing with things that AI companies are going to do or
I
with
agree.
big software companies. Like, I
Yep.
wouldn't build a bug tracker, but there's tons of software that everyday people might want to
Correct.
use that their OpenAI is not going to be focused on for a long time, and Apple and everybody else. So,
I think it is also a great time to study systems architecture.
yeah,
I think it
that's a
is
good point.
not a very good time to study what's new in React 19.1. I think
Right.
I think
Yeah.
frankly, I think that train has left the station. They're
Mm,
like, "Hey, let me show you how to implement signals in Angular." What the hell does that even mean? Nobody
right.
cares. Like,
Yeah.
I think now is the time to understand. Unfortunately, I think now is the time to read designing data intensive applications and, like,
Mm,
understand how systems work together,
yeah.
because that's, I think, just like, we don't handwrite assembly code, I don't think we're going to handwrite React right now. We
Yeah.
probably still need to, because their use effects are insane and, like, who can reason about
Sure.
that. But
Right.
I think at some point it's going to be like, hey, let's design the architecture of this system. And that's where the value is going to be. So
Yeah.
I don't know that, like, let's learn how to I don't know. Let's learn how to set up TanStack start from scratch. Like, just tell Claude, set up TanStack start. Like, just
Right.
go set it up and then we can get started.
Yep,
So,
yep. Ben Thompson of Stratechery, which we've talked about a few times before,
mhm,
definitely a newsletter I recommend everybody subscribe to if you haven't. He has a very interesting AI take that in his newsletter today he was talking about, which is like, so he writes a newsletter, right? And he's an analyst for the big tech companies or about the big tech companies
mhm,
and technology in general, AI, whatever, blah,
very
blah.
successful.
Very successful. And so obviously on one hand, you might be like, well, this is the kind of stuff like AI is going to replace this. Like AI can analyze
Mhm.
companies and all that stuff. At some point it'll be able to do an equivalent job. But his whole thing is like not, yes, that could be true on like any particular company, but it's like the humans still want the human part of it, right? And
They
so like,
do.
and AI is very individualized. So like I could have AI give me an analysis for my context, and you could have AI give you an analysis of a company for your context. But that's not giving us the shared thing. Or it's like when
Oh,
we
that's
receive his
interesting.
newsletter, we're getting a shared experience. If we both subscribe, we might chat about it. We know in general there are other people reading this and what their thoughts are. There's a
That
little
is
community around it
interesting.
and all that stuff. So the shared experiences are getting less. I mean, as we've already seen with like TV, right? Like, well, everybody watches YouTube and you just watch the things you want. So now the shared experiences are more highlighted, though, right? It's like, well, a lot of people watch the NFL still, and that's still live, and that's still a shared experience compared to
Ooh, this is
comedy
not an angle I've
shows.
heard. I like this angle.
So yeah, so you stand out more as by being human and creating this
Creating
shared
shared
experience.
experiences.
Yeah. So I thought that's an interesting
Interesting.
take,
That's a good take.
which there's something there, I feel like, and that his point too, like there's already AI's probably already written more words than all humans throughout all of history. Like just in
Correct.
terms of its thought process, text, and whatever, all this stuff, not even like necessarily articles it's published, but like its internal monologue stuff it
Yeah.
does now and all that stuff. It's made trillions of words, whatever it is. And but they're all just bespoke to one person in one
Right.
situation and not something that's shared across. And so I thought that was interesting. Yeah, so I think there's opportunities out there. It's just different than before. It's not just like build the app and
That's interesting. That
launch it.
makes me think about like books and blog posts and podcasts and
Right,
things that like are not purely or maybe people think they're purely information transfer. Books, blog
right.
posts, and podcasts. And AI could do a more concise version of information transfer. But maybe the value is the shared experience. We're all
Yeah.
like we're still everybody is still talking about Pride and Prejudice. Like you could have gotten a story written for you specifically that was more tuned to like your environment,
Yeah.
but the shared experience is talking about the thing that we've all read. I haven't read that book, but talking
Yeah.
about the thing that many people have read, excluding me. So that's interesting. That's a good take.
Yeah. I mean, it's even like Google pushes this thing a lot where like you can give it a bunch of data and like it'll spit out a podcast,
Right.
from like two people be talking about the
Yeah.
topic and whatever. And again, that's like bespoke to you. It's like, make me a podcast about this, give
Right.
me the angle on it. That's XYZ. And I don't know. For me, I feel like they come out a little weird, but whatever.
They
I
do.
think people do like them and whatever. It's fine. But that's not a shared experience podcast. That's just a podcast built for me,
It's not
which
what you're
is
getting here at Mostly Technical Pod.
not until we replace ourselves with AI.
That's
But
right.
for now, that's true. And so, yeah, I don't know. So there's stuff. There's a lot of opportunity out there when things have big shifts, and you got to keep your mind open to them because you never
Mm.
know where it's going to play out. Nobody knows where it's going to play out.
What are
So,
the shared experiences in education? I don't like cohorts,
yeah,
education
that's the
cohorts.
obvious one, right? But
Yeah.
I do think it is tricky to pull off.
It's tricky to pull off, and as a learner, to me, they're annoying because I'm like,
Yeah,
I just wanna go. Like, I don't
I
wanna
just want to
wait
grind.
around for the next thing to drop and then talk to all these nerds. Like, I just wanna
Yeah,
go. So,
right.
that's interesting. I'll have to think about that.
But maybe there's enough people out there who don't feel that way.
I know. I'm always trying to remind myself that there's a small chance that I am not normal.
Yeah. What
Very
if you
small
even did
chance.
what if you did, like I don't know how you would do this, like, you wouldn't wanna put too much work into it and time to if it doesn't pay off, but if you be like, "I'm gonna pick 5 or 6 people, I'm gonna run a cohort with you that I'm in, we're gonna, like, have a little 4-week thing where you do, like, a
Mhm.
thing a week for 4 weeks just as, like, a test," and,
Mhm.
like, maybe people will love it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I do feel like there are some things like that.
I'll have to think on that because that yeah. I will say maybe Advent of Sequel is like a shared experience thing.
That is, right?
There's no chat or anything, but you can imagine, a dev team is getting the Advent of Sequel challenges and they're like, "Hey, did you do today's? Oh, that was weird the
Yeah.
way that he did that." And like that's something.
Yep.
Like you could of course prompt your own sequel challenges into existence, but you kind of want to be like, "Hey, did I beat
Yeah.
you or did you beat me?"
Right. What about like the idea of Wordle for sequel, where it's like a
Wordle
daily
for
puzzle. It's like the
sequel.
Advent sequel, but it's daily. And because then, yes, it's like Wordle's thing, right? It's like me and my wife will be like, "Oh, I got it," or whatever, which we haven't done this in a while. But for a year or whatever, we're like, "Oh, I
Oh
got it,
yeah,
and you
yeah, yeah,
didn't," or
yeah.
"I got 5 and you got 4,"
I
or
had to
whatever.
mute Wordle on Twitter because it was such a shared experience. I'm like, I don't want to see your little emoji graphs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if there's like a shared experience where like every day there's a little sequel challenge and people have to do it or something? I don't know. I mean, obviously Wordle can have a very tight structure, which makes it very shareable and
Right, right, right.
quick to explain and whatever. So I don't know how you do that exactly, but like that idea of like there can be something shared and people can share it on social media easily and compare results, blah blah. Like could be something there.
Yeah, I'll have to think about if there's I'm always trying to think about like is there a vein to mine? Like, can I find something where I can just continue to exploit that one vein over and over and over? Because like Wordle is great. You just pick a 5-letter word, and that's the whole like, you can
Right.
do that forever. There's so many
I
of them.
there's
But
actually
I'm
only like
trying to think,
12,000 or something, but yes.
how do I like, what is the subject matter or the structure of the challenge or something
Right.
such that I can preload 500 of them, without
Yeah.
coming up with 500 sample data sets that are
Right. It can't
fundamentally
be that.
different and
It
like,
definitely can't be that. It has to be quicker than that, right? You want it to be
right,
fairly quick. It could be writing a query maybe of a certain style. I don't
right.
know.
It's
And
almost
it
like
executes
code
it.
golf, but
You get 5 tries at the query or something.
okay, I'll have to think about this because there's something that could be good there, but I don't know.
You need
I need
limits
an
for sure.
infinite
Like that's part of Wordle's thing, right? It's like you can only get 6 shots or 5 shots
right.
or
I
whatever it
need
is.
an
I don't
infinite
remember. And like,
vein of examples to mine such that I can just continually pump them out, you know?
you know, something there. Maybe
Hmm.
Wordle's not the right example too, right? But I feel like there could be something where you have like little challenges and create some
No, I
community,
have
but
I
it's
have
not
friends that
all the
play
way
the
to
like
cohort.
the New York Times games every day and send each
Yeah.
other the
Mhm.
Bumble or the whatever.
Right.
Okay, I'll have to think about that. That's good. That's good. It's a good idea factory, this podcast.
Man,
You're a machine.
lots of stuff going on. I'm on a roll.
You're on a good roll.
It's gonna stop
Whatever
soon, but
you're doing with your
it's going.
gallbladder these days, it's great.
It's all
Stay
working.
on the roll. It's awesome. You're giving me
Mind
good
is clear.
ideas.
Oh man. All right. What else going on? Anything else you got?
No, that's it.
That's it. That's it for
That's
the
all I
week.
got.
Man, December 15th already.
Yeah, I know.
Sick of the cold already. What's down there? What's temperature? 70?
Oh, dude, it's been cold down here. I think it was like
Ah.
30 degrees yesterday.
Oh,
I
okay.
know.
All right. That's real. That's real
That's
cold. You
real.
gotta put a jacket on.
Oh, yeah. 30, windy, overcast. Not great.
The overcast here. That's what kills you. It's just
Hate that.
overcast every day. It's brutal. Oh man. All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you, everybody. Check us out at mostlytechnical.com. Get in your 2026 sponsorships. Come on, people. Get them in. Yeah, check us out, social media, all the stuff, and we will see you back here next week. Later.
See ya.